Hello everybody, welcome back to a brand new episode of our F1 2013 career mode here on the channel. I hope you're all having a great day. We are now atop of the point standings after winning for the second time in our F1 yearly season career mode and second win of the season, as well in Silverstone last episode, as Hamilton had a big puncture early on in the race that took him out of the Grand Prix, and now we are headed into the German Grand Prix in the Nürburgring. This is going to be an exciting one. It's been forever since I've made any laps around here, so I think we're in for a bit of a learning curve today. Alright then, here we go for qualifying in the Nürburgring now. So yeah, it's been a while since I've made any laps around this circuit, so I'm not expecting a great qualifying effort here as we head down towards turn 1. I already given up a little bit of time. We got to get those brakes to the rear as quickly as possible. A little bit of a slip out from the rear end. Paul di Resta briefly on pole position, but just as quick as it happened, it was gone here now. Felipe again back out in front now. We expect Hamilton likely to get pole. That's kind of the occurrence we usually see. I'm getting a lot of oversteer in this car right now. It didn't feel like my pace was bad, but I'm just kind of fighting the car so far. But nonetheless, getting through Sector 1 a little bit better than I thought, to be honest with you. It's such a fun racetrack to drive. Formula 1, of course, obviously came back here during the pandemic a few years ago, and yep, there's a big choke right there. It's going to be such a rough qualifying effort. I like going into this series kind of, with the first laps being in qualifying, so it makes the whole weekend a challenge, and this is certainly going to be a challenging weekend for us here now. I mean, I'm sure we'll have the track down by lap 3, but my first lap around here, still, like I said, better than I thought it was going to be, but obviously some work to do. Around the final turn, it's not going to be pretty. Hamilton's on pole position. We're like in the bottom 5 for sure. I think it's 18th. Yep, P18. Oh, that is got to be our roughest one of the season so far. Hamilton by 0.4 of a second on pole over Alonso, Vettel, Massa, and Raikkonen. I'm kind of hoping for a little bit of chaos here to start this Grand Prix. All right then, ready to roll here in the German Grand Prix now from the Nürburgring. Not where we expected, says the race engineer. Unfortunately, yeah, I got to agree here as we are ready to go racing. It's going to be lights out here right behind Jean-Eric Vergne in the Toro Rosso. Use a bunch of that battery as we head down towards turn 1, and then I'm just going to lunge it up the inside here. Hopefully there's a space to fit my car. You know what? We might not get crazy aggressive because Vergne just got wrecked right in front of me. Valtteri Bottas is on a madman mission right now. I just about wrecked again, and I'm really glad now that I didn't just sail it up the inside, because we probably would have been involved in that. So we get through that unscathed, and we avoid 2 moments, maybe make that 3. Goodness gracious. AI, I mean, I love the starts in this game because AI are just so aggressive, and it leads to some wild moments like that right there as well. I really like how much less stiff, I guess you could say, the AI are in this game, because think about in F1 2012 and in this game as well. When you clip somebody in the rear on like a right rear wheel on, say, the exit of a corner, mid-corner, they're going to spin around. While on F1 2013, F1 23, or any of the newer F1 games, you run into someone's, right rear tire in the same exact way, they're barely going to budge, and that's a bit more annoying and just obviously less realistic. It's kind of weird how over the course of these games, in 10 years, we've actually gotten a lot better AI, but a lot less realism with the AI as we, though, continue to the end of this first lap. And heading into the chicane, this is such a fun chicane to drive through. You can actually ramp through here and just get some sick air, but we're not really trying to do that here today, so we're going to go with a little bit of switchback there on Paul di Resta. He wasn't ready. Former teammate will take the position from him, move up into P12 at the end of this first and opening lap. I'd consider that a successful lap 1. We've got a cone in the middle of the track. I just nailed it with the front wing, and it actually, I wasn't expecting it to knock the handling out of the car right there, but we're okay. But AI definitely have an interesting way around this circuit here as I'm trying to run down Mr. Nico Hülkenberg. Hamilton's still out in front here after this first lap. Oh, we got more problems. Sebastian Vettel. Vettel's gone off circuit. Oh boy. Alright, this is getting fascinating. We have got a heck of a Grand Prix going on here now. That's helpful for myself, of course, in the championship battle, but not what I like to see as a Sebastian Vettel fan. Look at these guys up here. They're going at it. Cars going wide. Cutting corners even. I'm loving what this track is producing so far as we continue on. I mean, if it keeps up like this, it could be the best race in an F1 game history now as we continue to the end of lap 2, 15 lap race. Of course, pit window does not open until lap 7. DRS now enabled. AI got pretty good pace around here as well. In the last 2 races, we've been so much quicker. You think back to Canada, as well as Silverstone here. Now, as these guys are going to go at it, more contact there. Sudal is going to get shoved off track. Did I say it right this time? I don't even know. Oh my goodness, Hulkenberg just about contact with him as well. We'll get through, and now we're up into P9, so this is getting so spicy now as Hulkenberg goes way wide. I'm sure things are about to get really interesting up here in front of us into the chicane. Look at these guys, they hurt each other so much, and then it's a huge advantage to me. Jensen Button gets the short end of the stick. The 2 Lotus teammates there of Raikkonen and Grosjean move forward. I nearly run right into the back of Kimi, but we stay off of him. Move up into P8 here now. DRS wide open at the end of lap 3. Here goes Raikkonen for a move on Grosjean. He thinks better of it and stays put. I could have sent one right there, but decide not to. As now, we're going to try and go around the outside of Kimi here. Is he going to give me the room? He does, but I just can't keep it around the outside. I am struggling a bit to get past Raikkonen here and get through him and put the attack to Grosjean, but it looks like these two might start battling it out again. Now, while you guys, though, let me know down below in the comments right now, if you're still watching at this point in the video, which German Grand Prix do you prefer? Nürburgring right here or Hockenheim? Preferably, I like Hockenheim. Raikkonen doesn't like his teammate there as we're going to slip through. Oh, don't mind if I do. Just lunge one up the inside. I'm so sorry there. That was not what I wanted to do. That was such poor racing etiquette, not intentionally. Oh, tire wear is looking pretty high right now, actually. Look at the rears. Not what you want to see, and oh goodness gracious, the tire wear in this game is so fascinating. The rears like to slide around a lot. The pit window is another lap away still, so I'm hoping that we can make it and not have to pit, you know, a lap earlier, because then of course we'll struggle so much at the end of the Grand Prix. I am really struggling for grip, so I'm glad the pit window's now open. Look at those rears. That's going to be the same deal, you know, for the last half of the race. It's going to be very difficult as well for tire management. So there was only one other Grand Prix that was really hard on tires, and I don't even remember what track it was. Was it Spain? I think it was Spain. And we struggled hard towards the end, so we got to be very careful at managing these tires here, because now I'm struggling for pace, slipping and sliding everywhere. Alright, we're finally coming into the pit box, thank goodness. Now, we could have come in, you know, a lap earlier. I don't know where the AI takes control, so we got to make sure we get through the hairpin here. But I definitely could have pitted a lap earlier, but I think we tried the same thing in Spain, and what we just talked about, the results that happened there. So we don't want to repeat, of course, something that was proven to not work very well. So we'll come in, throw the white stripe tire on, and get back out on circuit here. And it looks like maybe we were held up a little bit there, 4.4 second pit stop, but I had no pace at the last couple of laps of that run, so it looks like no traffic. Oh, we're gonna have one as Gutierrez, but we might be able to be side by side into turn 1, stick the nose up the inside, hope for no contact there. Perfect. Clear. Let's try and make up some time here now on Raikkonen, and I'm gonna push really hard here and just try to get up there, close that gap, and see what we can do in terms of getting up towards the podium, because right now our pace hasn't been great. It's been getting better, but you know, the tire wear is really going to play a big role here. All right, across the stripe, let's see where we cycle through. Who's this in front of us that just came out? I don't actually know. But oh, it looks like one of the McLarens. We passed Button, so that's got to be what Para is right there. So interesting. I'm going to assume he was ahead of us. I hope he was ahead of us before we pitted now. But overall, we are definitely closing in on Raikkonen here. So these final 6 laps that we're coming up on, going to be an interesting battle. I'm, of course, you know, at the decision, do we push hard now, pay the price and just hang on with the tires, or do we try and manage? I think the tires are going to fall off hard either way. So I'm more on the side of let's just push really hard, because I'm not confident in my tire management in this game yet, so I think we're just gonna send her. Raikkonen's all over the back of the McLaren, putting the pressure on, and I'm joining the party, nearly joining this gravel, as here we go, DRS wide open, not even a contest. Perez drops down to P6. Do I make a lunge? The answer is absolutely. You don't necessarily want to be side by side into that chicane. We keep it clean. I'd say it's about as clean as you can do it, to be honest now, and that keeps me as well right on the back, putting pressure on Raikkonen in the Lotus. Use all the curve deployment on the exit of the corner, get the DRS open. It's not even going to be a contest. We're about to blow the doors off of a doorless race car. There we go, up the inside, side by side, into the braking zone, go all the way down to first gear, and thank you very much. That will put us into 5th place, past Raikkonen. Mark Webber up next in the Red Bull. What a race it's been so far. It's had great racing. It's had action. It's had drama on the opening lap as well, and even Sebastian Vettel's moment. And it looks like Hamilton is no longer leading this race. It's going to, I'm guessing, be Alonso out in front, and they have a absolutely massive lead that's not going to be taken down without a safety car, and we have still yet to see a safety car all through F1 2012 to this point now. We are closing really quick on the back of Webber. This really does have Spain written all over. High tire wear. The second run of the race, we were flying, really making up a lot of time. And then, of course, at the end of the race, we paid the price hard and struggled extremely hard just to make it to the ending without wrecking the car. So I'm a little bit concerned we're going to face that again. So what I want to do is get to Webber, get past him. You know, getting third is going to be hard, but third's really not that far up the road. So second, of course, and first, they're having their own way with the field today. But third, that's going to be difficult, but let's see how fast we can get past Mark Webber here. Oh, I have a huge run. I don't want to wait. We got to go for it here. We're here to try and move forward as quickly as possible. We're going for the overtake on Webber. Not a lot of room between the two of us. Oh, it doesn't get much closer than that. We're going to chuck it into the right-hander. Clear. What an overtake. Oh, my goodness. But hold on. It's not over. Look at the top speed of the Red Bull as Webber's going to stay put, thankfully, behind us. Felipe Massa next up on our radar. What a fight right there with the Australian of Webber, and now we'll try to run down the Ferrari. Massa's had a history of choking. We have, of course, had a run-in with Massa in this season at Monaco, if you guys remember there, where we got the big penalty towards the end of that Grand Prix. All right, 3 to go. I'm going to put the fuel up to Rich. We've gained a little bit of time, but 4.3 seconds, just not a realistic gap. The tires have actually held on pretty well in this second run with 3 to go. I mean, you take a look at it, it's not too bad, so we should be able to hang on pretty comfortably. But yeah, that gap, 4.3, is just going to be too much, I think, to make up, even to Felipe Massa, who we have outpaced, you know, all career mode. We just went and put in a banger lap, 3.3 seconds a gap, and we just put in the fastest lap of the Grand Prix. It looks like, I'm sure, confirmation about to be here, right? Yes, it is a 1:32.1, fastest lap of anybody, but 2 laps. Rich fuel mix, is there still enough time? I don't know, it's going to be hard, but Massa, of course, getting closer and closer to us. All right, then, 1 lap to go in the Nürburgring. Hamilton out in control. We just went a tad bit faster by half a tenth of a second, 1.9 seconds a gap. It's not going to be enough time unless, you know, I put in like the lap of a lifetime here, and maybe Massa has a bit of a slip up. I'm the one slipping and sliding. However, now as we come through this first sector now, let's see where the tires are at. They're pretty rough, but they're not awful. Enough to still push as hard as I possibly can to run down the Brazilian in the Ferrari. I'm about to use all the battery that I have left right here and just hope, you know, that we get close enough to make a move now. The fuel light starts blinking. That's not going to be a problem, I don't think. There goes all the battery. Is there anything in it for Felipe Massa? Hamilton cruising to victory. We're going to go down to third gear, throttle up as hard as we can, and then really quickly go down to third, back up into fourth, full throttle. Not close enough. No DRS either. 0.8 of a second. It's not going to be enough to get to Felipe Massa. Hamilton rounds the final corner. He will win after a DNF in his home Grand Prix in the last episode in Silverstone. We lunge it into the chicane. Still, Massa hangs on. Alonso second here in the Nürburgring, and we are going to come up just short of a podium. What could have been right there? It's going to be P4. What a drive. What a race here in the Nürburgring. Got to be the best race so far of this series. My favorite one for sure. Although we didn't even end up on the podium. That was a blast. All right, here we see the finishing order. Hamilton had a 3.5 second gap on Alonso by the end of that race, and I mean 14 seconds on third place, and myself as well. How about Sebastian Vettel? Only P8 there after the issues that he had. We'll take a look at the standings. So it swaps again. Hamilton up ahead by 7, 21 over Vettel, 31 over Alonso. As you see the rest of the order briefly there. We'll take a look at the constructors. An 83-point gap we have over Red Bull. I mean, it's basically myself and Hamilton, and then for Red Bull, it's just Vettel right now, just trying to, of course, keep them in the fight. That's going to wrap it up, of course, for myself here in this F1 2013 career mode from the Nürburgring. I'll see you guys in the next one. Thank you for watching, and have yourselves a great day.